I'm going to read an interesting news story. Lithuanian judge arrested in absentia in Russia is now afraid to travel. Former ANR judge Cornelia Matsavicelli has stopped flying on an airplane because of her conviction and arrest in Russia. I get to Latvia and Estonia in my car. I go to places where I don't have to show my passport, she shared. According to Matsavicelli, even before she retired, she had a list of countries she should not visit. However, she does not understand why she was arrested in absentia in Russia. Neither I nor my colleagues have committed any crimes and violations in Russia because we have never been there. We are being punished for something we didn't do, she opined. Recall, in 2019, Ainora Matsavicelli, Virginia Pakalnite Tomishinite and Arturas Sumskas sentenced more than 50 Russians in the case of the January 1991 events in Vilnius, in which 14 people died. Russia recognized the verdict as illegal and put the judges who passed it on an international wanted list. End of article. In general, a month ago the newswires of our country carried the news about the arrest in absentia imposed by the Mordor regime on 3 Lithuanian judges who had sentenced more than 50 of our fellow citizens in the case of the 1991 Vilnius riots. It's literally been a couple weeks. And the Mordor watchers were savoring the screen that I read earlier, recounting the woes of one of the said judges, who suddenly realized that hollering at Russians from your tribal tea in the Emirates is one thing, but to get legally significant decisions from the clouded ones as an answer, affecting your recently cloudless retirement as another. And the mentioned actions of our authorities are finally not a one-time action, but a system, and it is as if hinted to us already. The following news from Dialog news agencies of this content, to quote. The president of the ICC International Criminal Court, Peter Hafmansky, is wanted under a criminal article, according to the wanted database of the Russian Interior Ministry. In addition, according to the Russian Interior Ministry's database, ICC First Vice President Luz del Carmen Ibanik Carranza and Judge Bertram Schmidt are also wanted under criminal charges. End of stats. For those who missed it, earlier our government also put out a wanted notice for those 3 progressive commissars, or rather, advanced judges from the ICC, who signed the arrest warrant for our President and Children's Ombudsman, Maria Elvira Belova. It may seem to some that all of this is immaterial, for said elves will simply stay away from countries whose authorities can detain such elves and extradite them to our country. However, the situation is submitted to correction at any moment, because the ongoing geopolitical game and shaping life reality, it is actually for decades ahead. Therefore, there is plenty of time for our authorities to announce new rules for participation in the Ono game. And then it won't just be the Wero-European lackeys of the Sprat Limitrophs who will start making pants afraid to use airplanes, but progressive commissars from normal countries will look around and shudder at the thought. What if their whereabouts were promptly identified by a digital trail and an unidentified FPV drone was already flying in their direction with a fairy tale greeting from the Mordor tyrant? Those who do not believe, read the history of the fates of the Rahuli, brought to justice, for example, for the attack on the Pskov paratroopers 23 years ago. Comrade Major knows how to wait. Petrov with Bashirov too, and all of them are fighters of our invisible front. Recommend to progressive commissars to look back at Russophobia, for Russophobia is murderous for its carriers. The mogulized banderlords guarantee it.